Hello everyone. Welcome. Let's say welcome to the Fortnightly, which is my blog. My name is Tito, and this is day 7 for SSSVEDA. And I think today's topic is a good book or your favorite book. Let me just check my calendar right quick. Best book you've read in the last year. The best book I've read the past 12 months has to be Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In. It was a fantastic book for several reasons. I'm a big fan of Facebook from a business perspective. I'm a fan of Facebook as a social network too, but not as much as I used to be. But basically, I really enjoyed the book. Sheryl Sandberg was on point. Her writing was to the point. It was deep. It was comprehensive. I really liked it, and I liked the humor. I loved everything about her book. But because I read that book several months ago, I barely remember most of what was in it. So the book I'm going to talk about is one I read 2 months ago in February, I believe, and it's written by a friend of mine. It's called Marital Relationships, right there. Marital Relationships by Toyosi Erogbogbo, who is a friend of mine. He's based in the U.S. in Chicago, and he's I think Toyosi works in IT, but he's also a youth minister, and he does couples counseling in his local church. And he released this book not long ago, and he gave me a copy in when we met up for a wedding in February. And I read it shortly after when I got back home, and I read it into March, and it was a fantastic book. I'm not married, but for someone who plans to settle down at some point in time, contrary to what my friends may think, um, it's a really good book. It's a good book for anyone for people that are single, hoping to get married someday, people that are newlyweds, and people that have been married for a while. It touches several subjects. What is unique about this book, as opposed to other material on marriage that I've read, is that I'm Christian, so Toyosi really tackles marriage from a religious and a Christian perspective, basing most questions that we have and most of the issues that people face in marriage, basing them on the Bible and what God says about marriage and about those issues, because in life, whether you're single or you're married, you have different questions about life partner, about dating, whatnot, and we try and find answers to these questions outside of the Bible. But Toyosi repeatedly states in his book that there's several issues that if at all the entire answer is not in the Bible, at least you'd find something relating to it, or the first few steps in the Word of God. And he talks about marital relationships, having a vision for marriage. He's also very blunt about certain issues. There's a part in the book where he goes, look, if you're not ready to die to yourself or just sacrifice your life or your needs or your wants to start a family or to make someone happy and satisfy someone else's life, if you're just not ready to sacrifice yourself somewhat, then you're better off staying single. He says stuff like that repeatedly in the book, which I found a bit scary because anyway, I won't get into that. I won't get into my views on marriage, but he's very blunt, and the things he says are very correct. There are things that you wouldn't expect people to say because they're trying to be politically correct, but they're still very true. I really love the book. It's available on Amazon if anyone is trying to pick it up. It's available on Amazon. I've seen it there, and then here in Nigeria, I think I've seen it on Jumia.com. So that's the best book I've read in recent times. This year is the last book I've read. I haven't read a book since this one. I think I finished it mid-March, and there's another book that I'm meant to read called Living on Empty by another friend of mine. I have friends who are just writing books left, right, and center. Living on Empty by Femi Enigbokan. He a friend of mine, and he's actually on tour right now in Europe, promoting the book. I haven't read it yet. I haven't had time, but I'm sure this will be my book of the month for April. So yeah, guys, that's the best book I've read recently. Marital Relationships by Toyosi Erogbogbo. I think you should pick it up. It's really good, especially if you're single and you're planning on getting married, or you're just thinking about settling down. It's a fantastic book, especially if you're religious, if you're a Christian. It will really help you out. So yeah, that's it, guys. SSSVEDA day 7. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 8. I wonder what the topic will be then. Cheers.